right, welcome back to the Final Take podcast. This is part 2 of the NFL Draft Recap. All right, I have a special guest on this episode going all the way back to my middle school days. It's my former basketball and football coach, Coach Mabry. So we're going to basically keep the same topics going from the previous episode. And without further ado, let's get on out to Coach Mabry.
Hey, Caleb. Hey, what's up? Hey, thanks for having me on your new podcast. I hope this is only the beginning for you and much success as you get this podcast up and running. You provided me with 3 questions. Question number 1, how do I feel about my NFL team's draft? As you know, my team is the Cleveland Browns. I've been a fan since I was born. We've experienced a lot of losing, and we finally know what it's like to win and be competitive. I expect our draft picks that we got last weekend to help contribute to more success in the coming years. Our first round draft pick, we drafted a kid out of Northwestern, Greg Newsom II. He's a cornerback with good size and great speed. He will be starting opposite Denzel Ward come training camp. With our second pick, we drafted Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. He's a linebacker out of Notre Dame. Our linebackers last year were very young, but they couldn't tackle. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah can tackle, and he has speed. He is probably going to take somebody's starting spot in training camp. So I need everybody to be on the lookout for him. With our third round draft pick, we drafted more speed. Anthony Schwartz out of Auburn University. He's a receiver. Not very developed as of right now, but with NFL coaching, he's going to get a whole lot better. Like I said, he has speed. He ran a 4.25. I expect our coaches will find a way to get him on the field. It may be a lot of jet sweeps. It may be a lot of end arounds. It may be some receiver screens. But I expect him to get on the field and contribute. With our fourth round draft pick, we drafted Tommy Togiai, defensive tackle out of Ohio State University. We lost our defensive tackle to a cap casualty a few weeks ago, Sheldon Richardson. I expect him to be in some type of rotation with our other defensive tackles in the room. Very strong kid. He can find a way to get on that field. With our 5th round through 7th round picks, I'm not going to go in depth with those picks, but those picks are normally young men who can contribute to special teams or possibly get in the game due to somebody being hurt, 3rd string, 4th string. We got more speed, but like I said, I'm not going to talk.
All right, some good stuff there from Coach Mabry. I do believe the Browns came out with a lot of elite defenders that can play right away and make an impact. All right, moving on to question number 2. Who do you think the steal of the draft was?
Question number 2. Who do I think the steal of the draft was? I think the steal of the NFL draft was Justin Fields. We all know Justin Fields is a quarterback, or was a quarterback, who played for Ohio State University. Kennesaw, Georgia native as well. Justin Fields, in my opinion, was the 2nd best quarterback in the draft. Chicago Bears had the 20th pick, and they traded to get the 11th pick because they realized, golly, Justin Fields is still on the board. Chicago did the right thing. They were aggressive. They knew what they needed, and they got it done. Justin Fields is better than Zach Wilson, who went 2nd to the Jets. Justin Fields is better than Trey Lance, who went 3rd to the 49ers. Why was he on the board? Justin Fields had 2 years of highlights. Zach Wilson had the same, 2 or 3 years of highlights. Trey Lance had 1 game this past season and highlights from the previous season with inferior competition. Big Ten player, Mountain West player, 2nd level Division I type player. Take your guess. It would always been Justin Fields, but some way those NFL evaluators didn't think so. I think Justin Fields will have a better career than both of those two quarterbacks that I named, and that was my steal of the NFL draft.
All right, I definitely can agree with Justin Fields as being the steal of the draft. I really don't understand how you made it outside the top 5, but the Bears definitely have them a good one. They already have an elite defense, and they really was just missing that signal caller. So, hopefully that he can be the guy for them. All right, moving on to the final question, question number 3. Who do you think is going to be the offensive rookie of the year as well as the defensive rookie of the year?
Question number 3. What are my predictions for the offensive and defensive rookies of the year? For the offensive rookie of the year, I'm going to select Jamar Chase. Receiver, played at LSU, and got drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals. Why do I think so? Because I think the Cincinnati Bengals will be doing a lot of losing. So Joe Burrow will be doing a lot of throwing because they'll be playing from behind. We got to remember those two already have chemistry from their days at LSU. Jamar Chase will probably have 80 to 90 receptions, and I'll probably say he'll have 10 touchdowns, double-digit touchdowns. Jamar Chase is a beast, and he's my pick to win NFL Offensive Player of the Year. To the NFL Defensive Player or Defensive Rookie of the Year, I'm going to select Kwity Paye, defensive end out of Michigan. The Indianapolis Colts drafted him with the 21st pick. The Indianapolis Colts have a solid defense already. They got 2 defensive tackles, DeForest Buckner. They got some great linebackers with speed, and then their back 4. The 2 cornerbacks and their safeties are pretty good players. The only thing they're missing was a defensive end who can get to the quarterback. Kwity Paye is that guy. 4.3, 4.4 speed, and that's going to be his only job. Go hit quarterback. Go find quarterback. He can do that very raw, but like I said, with that NFL coaching, they're going to train him up, and he's going to be a solid player. He's my pick for NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year.
All right, 2 really good predictions made there by Coach Mabry. Going with Jamar Chase as the Offensive Rookie of the Year. As you stated before, him and Joe Burrow both have good chemistry by playing together at LSU, so they already have that upper hand, and I could see Jamar Chase definitely lighting up the stat sheet and taking home that Offensive Rookie of the Year. Defensive, I know it must have been tough for you being a diehard Buckeye fan like myself to pick Kwity Paye out of Michigan, but the guy can definitely get after the passer. I mean, he runs the same kind of 40 times as corners and safeties and receivers, and he's, there to rush the passer. So it's going to be a nightmare for all of those offensive linemen trying to keep up and block him. All right, I do believe that was some really good information there, and Cleveland Browns are definitely looking for a bright season in the 2021-2022 season, so we'll see how that goes. All right, that pretty much wraps this thing on up. All right, if you guys can go ahead and subscribe and just stay tuned for the next episode.